stop running and face yourself. One day, a young girl came to me and narrated her story to me. She said she has been disturbed by a recurrent dream for many months and she is unable to figure out what is happening with her life. She said in every dream she has been chased by someone and she has been running away from the person. As a result, she wakes up in the morning tired and disturbed. Having listened to her dream, I asked her, instead of running away, why don't you stop and look back at the person to find out who is the person chasing you? Though initially she was reluctant to experiment this idea, later she took my advice and one night, having mustered all her courage, she looked back and asked, "What do you want?" And she said, from that night there was no more that dream. The story is that this young girl had a darker complexion and she was unhappy with her color. She used to compare herself to others and feel very bad about her. In other words, she was running away from her own color, meaning she was running away from her own person. The moment she faced herself, her problem dropped. We human beings not only run away in our dreams, we are also known for running away from the realities of life. Sometimes we run away from our own responsibilities, other times we run away from our own relationships, and yet times we run away from our own shadows, namely the negative side of our personality. Unable to face the realities of life, we try to escape from our own selves and we think that's the best way to do it in order to avoid stress and tensions of our day-to-day life. One of the most fascinating and adventurous stories in the Bible is the story of Jonah, who is often nicknamed as the runaway prophet or the reluctant prophet. It would be nice if everyone read this story of Jonah. It is a universal story applicable to everyone, especially for the modern day youth who look for easy ways to escape from life's challenges. When Jonah receives a call from God to go to Nineveh and preach repentance there, Jonah struggles with his own identity. He is worried about his reputation in the eyes of others. He is more concerned with what the world thinks of him and how others perceive him. He is directionless and unsure of what to do. He is not prepared to undertake what is expected of him. Like many other youth, he is temperamental and impulsive in making his decisions. In fact, he does not like to go through the process of discernment. He wants a quick solution for his problem. Somehow, he fails to understand or comprehend God's indiscriminate mercy toward the people of Nineveh, the capital city of Assyria. Therefore, he does not want to be a fool by going to Nineveh and preach to them God's punishment only to realize later God is showing them his mercy. Like many other modern youth, Jonah wants to prove that he is right. Therefore, he flees from God and hides himself in a ship going to Joppa so that God cannot find him. He pretends to be sleeping peacefully, though he is in turmoil within. The more he tries to escape from God and from his own responsibility, the more problems he invites on himself. But God, in his love for Jonah, puts him in the belly of the fish, where Jonah takes time off to reflect on his life and find a workable solution to his problem. God has clear plans for Jonah, and therefore he goes after him to bring him back, and finally Jonah accomplishes those plans. That is where Jonah finds joy and happiness in his life. Jonah could be called the patron saint of all the directionless and disobedient youth in our societies today. Jonah's life resembles a lot the life of our youth today, who do not want to follow a path of discipline. There are many youth who struggle with their own identity, and some are unclear of their direction in life and what is expected of them in the future. A good number of confused youth indulge themselves into drugs, alcohol, pornography, and other illicit relationships as an escapism and create mess for themselves and for the significant others in their life. Here is Jonah teaching us to stop running away from life and face the challenges of life in a mature way. There is enough power within each one of us to face the realities of life. There isn't a problem in life which has no solution. God does not give us a problem that has no solution. He gives us only those crosses which we can carry. Unfortunately, often we want God to be all grace and no discipline. We want our parents and superiors to be loving but not demanding. We want to have fun but no responsibility. In the belly of the fish, Jonah learned some basic principles of life. He realized he needs to give up his rebellious nature as it brings distress for himself and others. He realized he cannot escape from God. In fact, there is no place where God cannot reach. He realized happiness and success in life are possible only when we understand God's plan for our life. Therefore, stop running and face your life as a mature adult, and you will find happiness.